And finally, German officials say that nearly 170,000 refugees have arrived in the state of Bavaria since the beginning of September. Bavaria's Governor Horst Seehofer said that 10,000 people arrived in the state on Monday alone. He said the state has never seen such high numbers coming in over the past year. Several weeks ago, the governor of Bavaria criticized German Chancellor Angela Merkel for allowing in refugees and asylum seekers that had massed at the Hungarian border. Meanwhile, about 78,000 asylum seekers have crossed into Croatia since mid-September after Hungary closed its border with Serbia. According to the UN, more than 500,000 refugees and asylum seekers have passed Mediterranean waters from the Middle East and North Africa this year. Wahid Azal is an independent scholar and political commentator joining us from Berlin. Okay, Wahid Azal, looking at this refugee asylum seeker crisis, there's such animosity that has now been created amongst European states that some publications have gone as far as saying that this is going to divide Europe. Do you see this to create a division amongst European countries?
Well, it is, but the question is, where is the locus of this division making? And as far as I'm concerned, this is coming straight from the United States and the Anglosphere itself. The Germans themselves, other than the far-right parties and the neo-Nazis, don't have a problem with the refugees coming into Europe. The issue is the way that the German government is managing this. That's the problem.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but based on the little bit of research and the tiny bit of knowledge that I have on this matter, all data indicates that refugees, asylum seekers, or migrants, as some like to call, actually contribute to the economic cycle within countries. And it's nothing new in terms of it happening over the years, maybe this year, obviously, for it to have increased in numbers. So why is there such a pushback when it comes to it? Is it a matter of just costing the government money to handle it?
Well, let me give you an example of what's happening here in Berlin. This is getting reported in the local press here. There are speculators currently that are housing these Syrian refugees, and then they're pushing out the normal German residents out of these housing units and housing these refugees, and then billing the German government to the tune of 100,000 euros a month. Okay, that's on the housing aspect of it. But on what you mentioned before, these refugees or these migrants contributing to the German economy, they do, because first of all, they're going to offer cheap labor in the short term to the German economy. And later on, if these people settle here and take roots, they contribute to the German economy. But it is a right-wing neo-Nazi narrative that is being pushed both by the corporate press and also by the far-right parties in Germany to demonize these refugees. This is where the problem is coming from, and my argument is that the locus, the origination of much of these arguments are actually coming from the United States itself rather than being local.